Local couple has a healthy, happy one-year-old who they adopted as a frozen embryo, frozen for 10 years. In a story you'll only see on NBC 15, Lee Mills shows us Milan's adoption story is becoming more common.
Happy birthday to you.
Meet the birthday boy, Milan Batinich III.
Happy birthday, dear Milan.
A first birthday parents Milan and Sarah dreamed about, but feared would not be their reality after nearly 20 years of struggling with infertility.
It was a little heartbreaking, yeah. Yeah.
It was. So we found out in 2015 that I couldn't have children, but Sarah could. And then Sarah made the decision that if it couldn't be a part of both of us, she didn't want it to be part of neither of us.
With both natural birth and in vitro fertilization deemed impossible, their next option was adoption, until they learned of a different take on the idea.
My old boss, her son and daughter-in-law were going through IVF. And on their documents, it said, if you are finished building your family and you have leftover embryos, what do you want done with them?
So these extra embryos, the fate of which patients struggled with, what could we do with those? Your choices are to come back and use them, which we would prefer, to donate them for medical research and destroy them, just destroy them outright, or to donate to another couple.
Dr. John David Gordon has worked in fertility for 20 years, most recently as the medical director of Southeastern Fertility and National Embryo Donation Center physician. Conservative estimates show there are more than 1 million frozen embryos in storage right now in the United States, though most are expected to be used by the parents who created them for IVF. The NEDC was created 20 years ago in 2003 to pair those leftover embryos from clinics across the country with families looking to adopt. Dr. Gordon calls it a rescue mission.
They really wanted to make sure that this did not become sort of embryo free-for-all, right, where embryos are sort of bought, sold, and traded on the internet.
Dr. Gordon estimates doctors perform 300,000 IVF procedures in the country each year. Of those, around 3,000, or 1%, use donated, adopted embryos. It's a small subset, but NIH data show embryo donation is growing in popularity. From 2004 to 2019, the number of donated embryo transfers each year in the U.S. has nearly quadrupled, from 666 to nearly 2,500 in 2019. The center is currently storing 3,000 frozen embryos that are available to adopt right now.
We want the embryos to get placed wherever they are, but they are here and they are waiting, and we certainly have a system that seems to work, as we are now approaching 1,500 babies, which is more than any other clinic in the world in terms of embryo donation.
They work with couples from across the country.
Is this transfer day?
That's transfer day, yeah.
Oh.
Couples like the Batiniches.
They said the ring around, it was more viable. So I don't know, maybe this was him.
So 2/22 of 2022, at 2:22 in the afternoon Eastern, they transferred 3 embryos into Sarah, and here's one of them.
Laughter at the end of an almost 20-year journey with infertility.
When he was born, she's like, all right, Dad, like, take a look at your son. And when I stood up and saw him, it was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe, like, it was real.
We just love him. Yeah, we soak him up. Happy birthday to you. Here you go, buddy.
We want to wish Milan a very happy birthday as well. Now, there are a few Madison area clinics that work with families who are struggling with infertility, including UW Health Generations and Wisconsin Fertility. Now, they do store embryos, most for couples who are hoping to use them personally for IVF. But you can contact them to discuss treatment options. As for this process, I've included more details in my story on NBC15.com.